Welcome back to the channel, guys. It's time for another anime first impression video. Welcome once again, guys. It's going to be on the family circumstances of the Irregular Witch, which is a anime, and I don't know why they do this sometimes, but this one aired in the weekend and it aired with two episodes, episode 1 and episode 2. I've only seen episode 1 because typically when I do first impressions, I focus on only the first episode. Does it hook you? You know, stuff like that. And I do that because I'll be honest, a lot of people just do that. A lot of people will watch the first episode and will judge it from that. Very few like me will watch 3 episodes. I make a list out of all the first episodes. I make a list of the ones that I'm gonna give it a try, and then if I'm gonna drop it, I drop it around episode 2 or 3, but not 1. So most of the time. But for first impressions, I like to do the first episode because it's your first impression. There should be a hook, you know. So series like this, when they release 2 at a time, I kind of feel like the second or the 2 episodes are meant to be watched together to have a hook, but it shouldn't be like that. It's a whole hour almost you would have to watch. So oh well. Before anything, guys, if you haven't done so by now, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give some love by commenting, liking, and sharing. You guys can follow me on social media in the description below. There's a lot of other first impression videos as well that I've released. So again, the best way to do that and to catch every single one that I'm releasing is to subscribe. So make sure you guys are doing that, and I do highly appreciate those who have been active in my channel and those that have been liking and sharing my stuff, because I have seen a little bit more increase on that. So thank you again for that. Okay, again, this is the family circumstances of the Irregular Witch. There's 2 episodes, time of recording. There's also, they're both subbed, so they're not dubbed yet. If they will be, I don't know. It follows a witch, Elisa, who is the little blonde girl in the cover. If you ever see the cover, she is 200 plus years old, and she has 2 other witch friends that are also 200 plus years old. I think one's like 220, one's like 230, one's like 210, so they're around that age, right? Well, she finds a baby in her doorstep, and essentially the baby is emanating magic, so she knows that the baby is also a witch. So she takes in the baby and nurtures it, right? It's a time jump pretty fast from the beginning of the opening, and then after the opening, the baby is basically an adult already from past the opening. She is an adult, and she is almost twice the size of Elisa. She is dark skinned and very, very beautiful. They mentioned that multiple times in the episode, so it's not creepy for me to say. But she is also 16 years old. Now, the first third of the episode is all about that. There's guys that are finding her attractive. And there's people that are like, oh yeah, she's gonna be rebellious. But then the witch, she's still acting like she's 5 or 8 years old, and Elisa's like, no, she's not rebellion. Like, no, that's too soon. She's still a baby. And they're like, no, she's not. She's 16. She's in her teenager years. And she's like, no, she's a baby. And because in the witch eyes, again, she's 200 years plus. So she's still very young. She's a young witch. So that's kind of the weird and also the comedy behind the entire episode, is that the young witch is the bigger one that looks like a woman, and the very old witch is the young one, tiny one. Like, in fact, at one point, the kid witch thinks that they're flirting with the mom, and she's like, no, they're not flirting with me. And the mom knows that they're trying to flirt with the kid witch, right? So Elisa definitely tries her best to be a good mom, and it seems like most of the episode is cut into different segments. One point, She tells her daughter to not be playing with summoning beast, and she still does it, and she summons a phoenix, really weird looking phoenix, but she does. And then at one point she tells her mom, like, hey, I really want a familiar, and she's like, well, pets can be, can be difficult. And they talk it over, and the other witches come over as well, and they give their opinion. They're like, yeah, familiars are not the best. A whole comedy section there as well. Their familiars, super funny. One has a snake, and the other one has guys as familiars. It's funny. it is. Yeah, so they're like, maybe you should start something small. And she goes and sleeps on it and wakes up, and she's like, yeah, they were right, I should start with a plant. So the phoenix kind of makes himself part of the family. He's like, you guys summoned me and you guys are rejecting me, like, you have to keep me now. So they basically keep him, and the rest of the episode is basically the phoenix being jealous of the plant because the witch is giving attention and love to the plant because she's showing or trying to show to her mom that she can take care of a living thing. And the phoenix is like, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I'm smarter, like, I'm better than all this. And yeah, that in a nutshell is the first episode. There's a lot because it's cut into so many segments. It introduces the characters, introduces the auntie witches, if you want to call them, and then at the end when they show the preview for the next episode, it showed a bunch of more new characters. So it just seems like it's going to be comedy and a lot of characters that might not be reoccurring, or maybe reoccurring but not as much as other series, especially when you have a huge cast and you just want comedy after comedy after comedy. Sometimes the same joke can get old, so they do add more and more characters, but that can be also overwhelming. So we'll see what direction they take this series. For sure, for me, this is more of at the end of my list. I watch everything that I want to watch, the stuff that really keeps me on the edge of my seat week after week, makes me want to come back. This one doesn't really make me want to come back. This one makes me want to just binge watch it and get it over with, just to have a review, to be honest. And I might not even watch it. So it is on my list on the maybe pile. It's definitely not a complete no, but I'll give this one a 6 out of 10. It's just another comedy. It's funny. There's some fan service, but not really. So yeah, tell me guys what you guys think on the comment section below. Have you seen it? Do you like it? I don't know. Sometimes I bite my tongue because I'll talk badly of a series that a lot of people like, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry, but I'm here to give my opinion. And at the end of the day, I hope everyone understands that, especially if you're watching up to this point. It is at the end of the day my opinion. So you can love something that I hate, and I can hate something that, I can love something that you hate, and that's okay. That's the beauty of anime. There is something for everyone, so it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching this, and like always, don't be strangers. Thank you guys.